responded yet.
Okay, so I'm recording and then I'm going to go live.
And then I lost you.
Lost me?
I can't see you now. Oh, there you
Oh, I
are.
can.
Found you.
Okay, it's not letting me go live. Let me see. Sorry, ladies, if you just give me one moment here. Oh boy, I thought I had it all figured out. There we go, go live, okay. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna go back to our meeting. Here we are. Okay, so we are live, we're recording, and we're here. And now let me see if I can share my screen. Here we go. All right, can you see that, ladies? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me? You can hear me okay?
And
All right. Great, great. Okay. So, we have a rapt audience here with these two ladies. So I'm really glad that, so I won't pick on you. It's like Becky's been to a number of my workshops, including a vision board workshop, and she knows everything is voluntary. So please don't feel pressured, but I would love your participation because it just makes it every kind of workshop that much more rich. So do either of you want to contribute why you came tonight? What in this title maybe drew you in that you wanted to come? You can unmic yourself, Carrie, if you like.
My dog is being
Oh,
noisy.
okay.
That's why I'm muted. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
It just said living your best life. So that's what drew me to come to it.
Awesome. Okay. So a little bit of background. I know both of you ladies were connected on social media, but I've been doing a lot of work, internal work, and this is something that I'm so excited to be able to give back to clients when I'm coaching them, is this transformational work. And so it really has, in my case, has taken me back to when I was born. So I was born in 1968. I'm 52 years old, and I was unplanned. So my mother was single. She was from a Christian home. So an unwed mother in those days, again, was seen as very shameful, sinful. And then add to that, she actually, my biological father was a Mennonite. So from a strict family Mennonite where there was like, I don't know how many siblings, 13, 15 siblings from the St. Jacobs area. So it was a big, big secret. So that's really my beginnings, was this unplanned entrance into the world. And I just want to share with you ladies, one of the things that has come up for me was I'm in this coaching program, and I was showing up to the coaching calls. They're like group calls with maybe 6, 7 people on them. And I felt myself comparing to other people, feeling like, you know, I got my homework done, I want my gold star, and just, you know, really, you know, showing up in that manner. I was like, why am I doing this? What's showing up for me? And so I met with a fellow coach, and she started doing some digging. And she said to me, you know, we dug and dug, and we got back into worthiness. And she said to me, you are as beautiful as when you were a baby as your grandson. Again, if you follow me on social media, you know I have lots of pictures of Judah. And I pictured myself as the baby sitting next to my grandson, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. that I realized that when I arrived, not even unplanned, but 6 months later, when I came from the foster home, I was dirty, I was tired, my tongue was hanging in my mouth, and I looked raggedy. And those are the words my parents used, not in a malicious way, but I was just a raggedy baby. And so that epiphany that that's really what I had been resisting, was this raggedy baby. And to prove myself, I need the gold star. I'm showing up attractive. I'm, prove, has been my nemesis, has been my motivation, but in such a negative way. So this whole self-awareness has been so liberating. And I'm excited to hopefully give some of this as a beginning of this for you tonight. And then, if you want to work with me further, we certainly can do more of that. So there really has been this awakening for me in 2017, where I started to do some of this deeper personal work, personal development. I don't know, how about for you, Becky or Carrie? When do you think that started for you?
I have to agree with you, Deb. I think that even to move forward, you have to go back, because there are always things that have to maybe be tidied up during the past, or you have to look at, or so I have to agree with you that I think we take a lot on as children. Not that our parents didn't try or do their best, but that's life, right? And we sometimes carry that, and so we're not maybe the happiest, beautifulest child or baby. And as soon as you said that about you as a baby by Judah, made me think of the one baby picture that I have, and you're right, it was a beautiful thing. And it kind of made me cry, because I've not thought of that. I've gone back to try to heal with my little girl self, but you just took me back that little bit farther. And being born in 62, so maybe my picture is 63, they're kind of old and whatnot. And I was at a year old, I was 30 pounds, I was a chunky little girl, but I was beautiful. And you just made me realize that I've gone all this time now, 58 years, and I've been so busy trying to be okay, be worthy, be what everybody else wants, make everybody else happy, that I was so unhappy. But it's now I'm working on the me happiness. I'm at that point in my life where it's just happening. I don't know how it's started or become, but it's been a few years ago, and it just kind of inches out little bit by little bit. It takes time, and you kind of get through that part and then move on to the next step. And I find working with you is just a little sentence that you say is something, and it's so important to someone else like myself. You don't even know it. We know it, but said, wow, I was a beautiful baby. And I've never thought of that as ever looking at that picture. I've thought, oh, gee, look at me, but never in those words that I was beautiful.
Awesome. Oh, we've lost Carrie. I hope she comes back. Yeah, so I love that. And so I was speaking with another woman today, and she showed me in her studio, she actually has a photo of herself and her sister, just again to remind her. So I don't know if you have that picture out and framed, but to remember that you were born, when you were born, you were enough, and you were beautiful, and you still are, that beautiful girl, and that's within you. So, oh, someone else has come in here. Okay, let them in. Awesome, thank you for sharing that. Oh, shoot. Go back. So I think that I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but this picture here is from last fall. It would be almost a year ago, last October. I was part of a women's conference in Windsor. And this day here was the spark that really lit the spark that I decided to leave my career, my full-time career in childcare, and begin this real intensive journey and about fully stepping in. And the question that was posed was, what's the price? What's the price you're paying for not following your dream? And, you know, we can talk about money, you know, money, that it's going to cost me money to leave my job. It's going to cost me money to, you know, get a coach, or it's going to cost me money. But what's the price? You know, if you think about, if you are very, very ill with a terminal illness, what would you pay to get healthy? So what's the price that you're paying currently by staying and not following your dream? And then secondly, if that's not enough to motivate you, what's the price those around you are paying for you not following your dream? And that was the nudge I needed when I heard the second piece, because I thought about my grandson and I thought about my daughters. And now I have freedom of time. Just right now, I just got back from a little trip with my daughter. We went and got some things for his birthday party on the weekend, and I have freedom to just be able to drop everything and just go and sit in the back seat with my grandson and sing and dance and bob our heads, and I get to do that. I'm living my dream.
Right. And I think that you're right, but then there's that always little pieces, but how do you, that's exactly what I want. You're exactly right. But how do I just let go? How do you just let go? Because you always have those little strings attached, right? So it's just working at it. I get that. Yes.
It is. And I am not a proponent of, you know, you'll see people on Facebook or Instagram that are like, you know, quit your job and just, you know, just jump out of the plane. Again,
Yes.
with a vision board, it's about creating the vision and then creating goals, and then it's taking those goals one at a time, and it's action. It's daily action. And I know you know this, Becky, and I'm super proud with you.
It's the reinforcement. Yes.
Pardon?
By working with you, it's the reinforcement. Like, it's you reminding us, it's you know, it's coaching, like you say, but it's that reminder, because, and not to be like, right, it's all about everybody else, right? But when it comes to us, we forget easily. So as our coach, remind us, moving forward, look at your board, you know, those things. That's what's so important, is making new habits.
For sure. And we think about, you know, we'll get a coach to help us get healthy in terms of weight loss. We'll get a coach, you know, for working out at the gym. But this is life. What's more important than life? So yeah, I just think about, and it doesn't have to be me, but someone that you can have that knows your dreams, knows your goals, and can hold you accountable. Because what happens is, even more so than maybe health or anything like that, is like our own mind will try to get us off track, because our own brain will actually try to say, that price is too high. Who do you think you are? You know, you've tried that before and failed. You're going to fail again. Like, there's just all these lies show up because our brain is afraid, and it's fear. And the fear is what's going to keep us, it tries to keep us safe. So by trying something new and by stretching and by acting, and as I said, I don't want you to, you know, completely just jump out of the plane without the parachute, but just have those little acts of bravery. And as you create those, you'll see the snowball effect, because what's going to happen is your confidence is going to rise and grow.
Yes.
Because you're going to see and feel the energy, and it's going to just, you're going to exude it. And then, well, you know, I believe in the law of attraction, and what you desire then will be attracted to you.
Yes.
This is a fun little exercise. I just got it today, actually. So do you have a piece of paper? So Andrea,
Yes,
is it Andrea or is it Carrie there? I can't see who else is on here. Whoever else is on, you can get a piece of paper, or if you're catching this on the replay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to write down the names of all of these animals, like, you know, cow, pig, horse, whatever, in the order that you admire them or desire. Okay?
Okay.
So from a list, like from top to bottom, whatever you feel is the highest priority, or whatever you think is the most important, or that is the most attractive, or that you desire. Desire isn't maybe the right word.
Okay.
Okay. So then what I want to show you is that tiger indicates pride.
That was my number one.
It was mine too. And I think about pride, that typically it's one of those things, and again, maybe this is from my religious background, but that it's seen as sinful. Pride is sinful. But I also can see it as, like, I'm really proud of my kids. It has nothing to do with me.
Yes, I agree. It's all about, yeah, they bring that out in me, yes.
And I think having a healthy sense of pride in terms of who you are, your accomplishments, what you're doing, the impact you're making, is a beautiful, it's like right up there with legacy, or like I'm proud to be Canadian, you know, like patriotic.
Right.
It's a strength. So, okay, then the next one. The cow is a career. Where is that sitting on your list?
He's at the bottom.
Okay.
Last one.
So, something to reflect on.
That's too funny. Awesome.
So, where's the pig?
Second from the bottom.
Okay. So, career and money are at the bottom. Sheep is love life.
That's my second.
All right. And so the third is family.
Awesome, Deb. I love that. That's my third one, right in the middle.
So this is from the Dalai Lama, and it's like a personality test of the Dalai Lama, and this is only part of it, but I did this exercise with a coach today, and I didn't have the pictures, but I just thought I'd add it into this today because I just thought it was so neat.
That was good. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. So just again a little self-awareness exercise.
Awesome.
So this is Tracy Ross, and I'm going to play a video of hers in a moment, but I love this quote that she has, and she just looks like such a super strong woman, and I aspire to her confidence. And this quote is, "My life is mine." And it's powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
So she says, "We are condemned for thinking for ourselves, for being ourselves, for owning our experiences, our bodies, and our lives." So very much feminist, but I really appreciated that quote. As I said, my life is mine. So, sorry, I can't read this. Let me just move this down here. She's revealed that her original dream was to be on stage in a sparkling dress singing, but she took that dream away in fear. So even the daughter of Diana Ross had fears. So now 47, she's finally got that, shot, and she's playing a singer in a movie, and she gave a Dallas audience a first peek. So she was on the Oprah show. So I'm going to play this quote, this clip of her sharing with Oprah and what was her fear.
About 8, 9 months ago, a year ago, I guess it is now, a movie came along to sing.
And you said yes.
Yeah, I said yes. You
Tracy
can
is
sing now.
allowing us to see a glimpse of her singing, okay? Here we go.
This, no one's seen this. The movie comes out in May.
There are things I know that I should have said that I couldn't say to you. I've been hiding in my tower of strength, and there's no room in there for two. You can't walk through fire and not bear the scars. Do you feel my heart trembling? Now you're here in my arms. This is new to me. This is new to me.
Thanks for sharing that with us. Now, what happens when you told your mother?
Okay, so okay, now I will cry. This was one of the most beautiful moments of my life, I think. So I don't know if you guys know this, but listening to music in your car is the best place to listen to your music. So I was like, Mom, I'm ready. She's like, you ready for what? I'm like, I'm ready for you to hear it. Okay. I was like, I'm going to pick you up. So I picked her up and we sat in her driveway in my car. She came out of the house, she came out of the garage, got in my car, closed the windows, and I was like, okay, here it is, Mom. Here's me. We all have fears. We all have these things that we've hidden away that we think are not worthy of coming forward because they might not be good enough. And I had to realize that it's not the sound of my voice. It's the honesty of my voice that is the key. I'm not supposed to sound like my mom. I'm not even supposed to be her. I can't fill her shoes. No one can fill her shoes. And so I got her in the car and the first note happened and she was on this side. So she pushed my arm and then she turned to me and her face was covered in tears and she said, finally.
It was, I get goosebumps every time I hear this song, her sing it, and then just to see her be so vulnerable with her feet up in the chair, and just, she was even nervous to have Oprah hear it, you know? And so yeah, even though, go ahead, sorry.
No, that's right. It was very beautiful. And then it is scary. You're exactly right. When you let go of everything and just be yourself, it's scary. Wow.
I just loved how, all of us, regardless of who our mother is, maybe even more so with her having such, a rock star mother, have fears, and they can stop us from stepping into our greatness. And had she listened and just thought, I'll never be as good as my mom, she would never have done this. And, it's so beautiful. So yeah, limiting beliefs. As soon as we're born, we're given a name, a religion, a nationality, a race, and we spend the rest of our life defending our fictional identity. So I just thought this was really powerful. It's almost provocative with having this little tattoo baby, but it's just that it's about sifting through that, like what has been put on us versus, you know, what is that beautiful little baby that was Becky, you know, at 1 year old, that was just this little chubby little cherub, and what was put on her. And I had the same thing, like what was put on me. And in addition to that, what did I even take on myself? So instead of, you know, putting the blame on others, but that these are things that I have taken on, that it's about sifting through that. And then something that was brought to my attention a little while ago too, I read, was, you know, we're born with closed fists when we're born. And so when we have closed fists, and if we stay that way for our entire life, which for much of my life, I was in this kind of a combative mode, like as a feminist, and it just fighting for my rights, and just I had childhood trauma, so it was like, you know, no one's going to hurt me again. And so I was, you know, closed fists. But what I failed to realize, and I only recognize in, you know, in the last number of years with this profession, with this self-development, is that when I physically open my hands, then I'm open to receive. Because if I'm like this, I'm not in a state of receiving.
Right.
And so, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
And I think little people too, if you're, you know, they talk, it's just like you're in protection mode sometimes because of trauma, for myself too. So I find I'm always ready for the fight. Like I'm always prepared. I'm prepared, and it's always negative. I'm not ready, and like you say, open for all the positive. I'm always going to the negative first, not seeing the positive, the good coming in, right? It's blocked first, because I got to examine all and make sure it's safe, right? And then, okay, then yes, I will have it come.
And what comes up for me when you're saying that is the word prepared, which, you know, is a very good word, and it's a good state to be in. However, if you're preparing to be defensive, then how
Right.
much are you missing in terms of things to be grateful for, or opportunities, because you're preparing to be on the defense or on the offense?
That's right. You're exactly right. Because the way I am right now, I'm more relaxed. I'm me who I am. I feel that way. And like, I'm grateful for all the things that are the necessities, like air, my breath, the trees, those things. You don't think of those things. But I'm at that point now where, yes, for the leaves, like for the sunrise in the morning as I drive to work, I'm seeing those things now. Whereas before, I could not find them. But I'm seeing those things now. You're right, exactly. And I'm like, they've been there my whole life, but unable for me to see them. Unable to see the goodness in trying to just protect myself all the time.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So this is another trauma response, is to feel that you need to be busy all the time. This fear-based distraction from what we'd be forced to acknowledge if we slowed down. So this was also part of my response in probably my 30s, 40s, was that I was just gangbusters all the time. And as you said, you're literally flying by the trees. You're missing all the beauty.
Yes.
That is, like right now, I'm just so aware of the changing colors with the trees, and yeah, and just, as I said, spending time with my grandson in the back seat and noticing all the new things every single day that he's learning. And I know I missed so much of that with my own children because I was so busy, but I was being busy. I was choosing, even though on a subconscious level, to be busy. But I do believe, again, that's a trauma response. So the more we can be self-aware, that we can understand, where is this busyness coming from? What's the source?
Right. And that busyness is like your body, but it's your brain too. And if you keep it busy, all this other things that we need to notice can't fit in because you're on this fast track. And that's what I would be like. And that is what, this is where I'm at now is I take time and I sit and I have nothing, try for nothing in my brain because it has been on such a fast track. I haven't dealt with all of those things because the minute you slow down, they seep in. So you don't want that. So then you get busy again. That calendar going, there's always things to do, right? But now that, you know, as you're getting older, it does start to slow down, whether you like it or not. So your body slows down, and now there's time, and it's I can't run that fast anymore, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, now I know why. Because if I go slow, I have to deal with grief, right? The grief of losing people or trauma that's happened to you. So I fully believe this. I've just clued into this in the last like 3 years. That's why I was busy, because it kept me from going somewhere very deep,
Mhm.
searching it out.
Mhm. Yeah, busyness can be, it's really like a drug where it's a numbing, right? So how do you numb? And you know, when it gets to be too difficult, the grief is too great to bear, or you know, the past comes up and there's triggers. But the, you know, the opposite of that is like, what if? So what if I decide I'm living? I've only have, and if we get into that state of gratitude, and we're coming up on Thanksgiving, so being in a state of Thanksgiving, that I'm thankful, like you said, even just starting with the simple things of opening my eyes, I have air to breathe, I have clean water to drink, you know, and I get to live another day, and I have, you know, my family members, whatever it may be that's in your small bubble, that, you know, I'm focused on, and I'm thankful for that. And, you know, and then the secondary, it's going past that in terms of self-development and self-awareness, is to set goals, begin to be focused on goals. And again, that will break this cycle of busy numbing, where then it's constructive busy. And I'm not saying like, I'm not hustling. I am hustling right now. But I'm loving it, but I'm doing it with intention. It's not that it's just like a hamster on a wheel.
Right.
So here's something, I mean, sorry, Becky, it's like all on you. So again, if you just want to, if you don't want to share, that's fine. But thinking about this great question, what did you think about the most today? And again, if this is too personal, you can let me know and you can just write it down.
No, I don't think so. It's not that it's too personal. I have to say most of it was nothing about me. Not about myself, not about encouraging myself or my goals, or, you know, nothing about me. I don't know if there was any one, can't say that there was any one thing that I thought most about. I
There's
do
something
know
kind of
though,
pops
it was
up.
nothing about.
What do you think took your
It was
attention
nothing about-
or gave your attention to?
I did think for a few minutes, for a bit, I will say, is how happy I was at work today. Because I was busy, how can I say this? I was busy trying to make a lunch that I was catering all morning. Plus I had giveaway bags for families. It was all bought, but I had to get them packed. And it was just constant busy, like you say, but it's productive busy. I can look over, I can see my egg salad's ready, you know what I mean? Another lady had the soup ready, I had everything out. But it is that how much I love today, because it's been a long time since I've been cooking. You know what I mean? So I did feel this is what I like. I was like, yes, this is me. I did think about that now that you think about it. I did think about how happy and good I felt. Now that you're really making me think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what you know,
Yes.
and what you know, and I know that you've been doing this work, is that the more that you focus, whatever your attention is, wherever your focus is, you're going to create more of that.
Yeah.
So the power is also to, perhaps ask this question at the end of each day. What did I think most about today? And then as you go into the next day, where's my focus going to be? I've had people tell me that they've set their alarm on their watch, like on their, and to pray, like just to make sure that they're setting the timer to make sure that they're meditating or praying, so they have that focus. That's really intentional, but you understand my point.
I do agree with you though. I noticed that I do need to set some alarms for things that I'm missing. Yes.
So yeah, and I mean, we set alarms for important appointments, but our brain is, and our thoughts are so critical to what we are attracting and what we are creating and how we are being. And so, it may be that even, midday to have a reset, to go, wow, this morning was a disaster. Okay. I'm going to walk in the door and I'm going to walk back, I'm going to walk out the door and walk back in, or whatever it is symbolic that you're just going to usher in a new way of thinking and being for the afternoon, deep breathing, whatever it may be, that you're just get out, take a walk, come back. I know I used to do that as a director on occasion too. I just needed to physically move my body to shake up my mind and be this new way of being for the afternoon. Yeah. So consider that when you feel like you're drowning, and again, this is from my faith-based Christian beliefs, but that you are actually floating in the ocean of God's grace. And that is paraphrasing from Ann Voskamp, who I've been reading. So I'm going to give you another video here. This has been really powerful. I don't think, have you seen this one? I don't think I've shared this one with you. No. Okay, I keep quoting this one. Okay, so I'll let it play.
Jackie Ryan just wrote on Facebook, "I'm tired of being strong, I want to be weak." And Iyanla said that so many of us wear that as our badge. You know, those of you, how many of you are the strong ones?
Oh, really?
I believe it though.
Not good. No, but they're saying, yay, strong.
Yeah, and why isn't that good?
Because then, first of all, it's probably inauthentic.
Yeah.
That you always put other people before you, but you put yourself last. How you treat yourself is how you treat God. So you're putting God last because you are the representative of God in your life.
Come on with it. Well, that's really deep. Now that just was an aha moment.
You don't have nothing right.
Where's my writing tools, Dean? Now, I've never heard it put that way before.
Yeah, because you are the representation of God in your life, and you put you last and put other people ahead of you, which means you're putting other things and other people ahead of God in your life.
Really?
Yes, really.
But I thought God said, Jesus said, what you do to the least of these and how you treat other people, you treat your brother like yourself.
Okay, that's when you're getting into the service, but in your life,
yes,
you've got to be as good to you as you want to be to God in order to be of service to others in the world.
Thank you very much. So it's not selfish to put yourself first.
No, it's self-full.
It's self-full.
It's self-full to be first, to be as good as possible to you, to take care of you, to keep you whole and healthy. That doesn't mean that you disregard everything and everyone, but you want to come with your cup full. My cup runneth over.
Yeah.
What comes out of the cup is for y'all. What's in the cup is mine. But I got to keep my cup full. That's everything.
I like that.
And so many of us think that, you know, we're going to get brownie points in heaven, like we're going to get in to sit in the box seat section. If, you know, if we just give and give and give and give. Now, here's what the Course in Miracles says, which I love. The Course in Miracles says that when you give to others to the degree that you sacrifice yourself, you make the other person a thief. Because when you start sacrificing yourself for other people, you make them a thief because they're stealing from you what you need and they don't even know it.
Get that. Okay.
That is powerful.
Yeah, I've watched it, I don't know how many times, and every time I get something else out of it. So what came up for you?
The point of being putting yourself first is selfish. That's how I was raised, and I don't know that those exact words were ever said. But if you did anything like, okay, so if there's a lady with her hair done and her makeup done, and you know she's dressed, you know, very nicely, there was always a remark how that person, you know, had time for that, and how my mom would keep herself so busy that she didn't have time for that. So it was looked frowned upon to be like that and to put that time in on yourself. You know, you just get to feel that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's like it was selfish to spend time on yourself.
And what do you know about that now? So that was said. What would you say about that now?
Now it's like it's most important to think of yourself and to have a rest and to have a break and to treat yourself. Because if you don't, no one else does. They just like people will like walk all over you, right? You're kind of, you have to think enough of yourself. Do put yourself first, because when you don't think enough of yourself, you know, don't do anything for yourself. It's not selfish to look after yourself. You don't have to give that much of yourself to everyone else, right? That if you don't look after yourself, you're not living your life, because you can't. You're so run down. You're wore out. You're not looking after. You're not taking time to breathe. You're not taking time to smell the flowers, really see the sunset or the sunrise. Those are things, you know, how can it be your best life if you're not feeling your best or enjoying the best? And that's what I'm noticing is, so it's very hard to start thinking of myself and doing little things for me, but if you don't, no one else will. So if you want flowers, you don't wait for someone to bring you flowers. You go pick your flowers. You go buy your flowers. Just whatever I want, I can look after that for me. That's independence, I know, but it's not selfish for me to do that.
So I want to refer that back to what she talked about with the full cup, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But by buying the flowers, by taking care of, you know, your appearance, by taking care of yourself, you're filling your cup. And you're right, nobody else can fill your cup but you. So by having that full cup, then whatever spills over, I love how she's like, when it spills over, that's for y'all.
That's right.
But if you're getting out of your half full cup, what you're doing is you're creating thieves, because you need whatever else is in that cup. Like you can't give it away unless it's full. So by filling it up, it's about taking care of mind, body, and spirit fully, so that when you're whole, then you're able to make the biggest impact within in the world and for others. So it's about full cup,
Yes.
and be able to then give to others.
But isn't it amazing? Over 50 and you're just discovering that? Like, you know what I'm saying? That it's like all this time and I didn't realize that.
I know, and funny, I had that conversation today with someone, and you know, we can have regrets, or I can say, this is exactly God's timing, and it is the way it's supposed to be. And it also helps me know what it wasn't before, so that when I do have clients who are who are maybe 5-10 years behind of where I was, I can say, yeah, me too. I totally understand. Whereas if I was enlightened already in my 20s, I wouldn't have had these kinds of experiences and failures and all of that too.
Right.
Yeah. So talking about cups, so you can't fill anyone else's cup, but also I want you to think, I'm just going to talk as a Christian here, but that, I mean, I have God, I have a higher source who fills my cup. So, I mean, that is like the ultimate, coffee maker who's like filling me with, a specialty coffee. He's, so, and the thing is that when I'm filled from him, then I can return that back. So that's when that Thanksgiving goes back up, right? When I'm noticing, by him giving me peace and grace, I'm able then to say thank you and to give worship. And then that's when it goes back out to others. So by having this full cup and having this vertical line where I'm connected to God and some people would say, higher power, spiritual, that's when I'm able to give out to others. But then what happens, which is my greatest reward in the work that I do, and for you as well, is that when we give, and we're able to then receive.
Right.
As well. And whether that be from the children that you serve or from your colleagues, from families, in my case, from now coaching clients. And when I see light bulbs go off, or I see confidence rise, breakthroughs with limiting beliefs, and things manifesting on their vision boards, oh my goodness, I get so excited. And, that's the arrow that comes back to me. But again, it's really 4 arrows. So I just loved that analogy of the full cup. This is a statistic that I discovered, actually, my daughter gave to me. She said, stories we tell ourselves. So many people think, again, I can't leave my 9-to-5 job. And, with being in this time of the pandemic, that actually the 9-to-5, people think it's less risky, but 4.2 million people in the US have already filed for unemployment. So, the myth that the 9-to-5 is your security is, where you're going to be able to, have your steady income and, think about entrepreneurial type of, I just want to throw that out there as entrepreneurial type of opportunities. If this is something that you've always wanted to do, that's your dream, that, take the story out of it that says it's much safer. Because in this, especially right now in the conditions we're in, it's not. So purpose. So I love these 4 points to really bring home purpose. So many people are confused. What is my purpose? And I don't think that, I know this. I know that, what my purpose was in my 20s is not my purpose now that I'm in my 50s. It's not. But it's these 4 factors that will keep refreshing and keep giving you focus and clarity on discovering your purpose. So first off, I'll start with the bottom. What can I make money at? We need to make money, and it's okay and good to like and love money. And I mean, that sounds almost sacrilegious. Like, I love money, but I do love money. Money gives me the vehicle to be able to do things for other people, for myself, for my family. So yes, what can I make money at? Secondly, what does the world need? And I know, Becky, you are an impactful person. And so I know you're, you know, making meals for families and constantly, you know, making the world a better place in terms of with children. So is there something that you can do, that you can offer that the world needs? Thirdly, I'll skip to the top. What do I love to do? So what is it that I really love to do? And sometimes I wrote a post the other day about, that's when crazy pops out. Because people will say, well, you know, the world needs this, I can make money at this. You know what I really love? I love when they kind of lean in and kind of whisper. I go, what? And then they tell me, and they're like, but that's crazy. I'm like, no, it's not. It's great. It's fantastic. Let's talk about that. So what do you really love? Whether that's quilting, gardening, playing the guitar, you know, talking to seniors, making art, making music. Let's dig into that and see how we can create an opportunity for you. And then the last thing is, what am I good at? And I would say that this is probably the number one thing that most people miss. And I just had this, so I'm just gonna give my quick story 2 days ago, where I was working with a fellow coach in my program, and he asked me to come on a call with him because he's not very familiar with doing workshops like this. So he said, can you give me some strategies on your systems like that you put in place? I'm like, oh, sure. So an hour, boom, boom, boom. I was letting him know how, you know, I set up a Facebook event, I put out an e-blast, and then I, you know, I contact people and I do a live Facebook, and I have this system, but I just do it. Just what I do. And he says to me, maybe this might be something that you could do. And in terms of coaching, like, have you considered coaching coaches how to do workshops? I said, no, but now that you say that, you're the fourth coach in this program that's asked me to give something around how do I show up on Instagram and how do I, and I just do it. It's just what I do and I love it. Sound familiar on the list? So even myself, I preach this, and it just can be something that we just step over and we don't even notice. And so I wanted to just give you an example. Becky, I don't know if I talked to you about Rosemary before.
I don't think so.
Okay, so if you're in Windsor, check her out. It's called Country Rose. And I want to back up real quick. So about 1.5 years ago, Rosemary came to a vision board workshop. She was kind of a spy. She was spying for the Children's Services Department of Windsor, I think. So if anybody's on from Children's Services, I knew what you're up to. So anyways, she came and did a vision board and she loved it. And she went back and reported to the Children's Services Department, okay, this Deb Sleuth, she's legit. She runs a good workshop. You could hire her to do professional development for ECEs. And so fast forward to last October for ECE Appreciation Day, I was asked to public speak in Windsor. So I went there and the speaker pulled me aside and she said, or the organizer, she pulled me aside and she said, do you mind if before you go on to do your speaking, we just have a quick ceremony for a moment? And I said, oh no, that's no problem. Not a really important part. Rosemary, when she came to do a vision board, as she was finishing her vision board, I said to her, Rosemary, where is what you talked about with your flea market and your preserves? It's not on your vision board. And she said, oh, she goes, that doesn't go on there. And I said, I don't know how to do preserves. Like, so, you know, tell me more about that. And she's like, well, my dream is to actually open a store. And she said, she also told me about a relationship she had with her daughter that was tumultuous. And so I'm not saying that properly. So she put on there that she wanted, you know, to mend the relationship that she had with her daughter. And then she also ended up putting something on there around opening a store to sell her grandmother's preserves. Okay, fast forward to last October, I'm at the ECE. The lady pulls me aside, quick ceremony, yep. And in walks Rosemary. I said, what are you doing here? And, oh my goodness, this is awesome. She's like, I'm retiring. I said, what? She said, yeah, tonight's the night. So I got goosebumps that I was there. Just, it happened to be, I was the guest speaker and she was retiring that night. And secondly, she was retiring to open up Country Rose, which you can see here, August 9th, opened up in Windsor, and she's selling pies and baked goods. And I believe she's doing it with her daughter.
Awesome.
So you can have it all. And she almost stepped over it.
Right.
Something that just comes naturally to her. Something that she loves. But I don't want to do that. I can't do that. She put it on her vision board. She got focused on it. And it wasn't even a year later that, again, well, this is now a year and a half later that she's opened up her store.
That's amazing.
So again, the power of mindset and action. So what you resist. So I asked you the question earlier as well about what your focus was on for the day. And I'm really excited with you that it was a positive focus. Sometimes we're also focused on the opposite, where we're trying to resist certain thoughts. So thinking about like weight loss, for example, and just, I don't want to think about food, or I don't want to think about, and so what comes up, we're thinking about food all the time. I'm thinking about not thinking about food. So what we resist also will persist. So it's really about changing the mindset to be visionary, to be goal-oriented. What do we want? And to include that into our mindset and our mind and our thoughts. So are we faking it, or are we facing it? Are we mindless, or are we mindful? And when we step into being self-aware and on the journey of personal development, we are brave, we have brave conversations, and we face it. And we ask tough questions of ourselves and of others. And we step into being mindful so that we're not just numbing ourselves with busyness. So it's a big slide, sorry, but I wanted to include lots of options. So what is your self-care routine and celebration reward? Is it non-negotiable? Make it part of your to-do list, like brushing your teeth. And here are some ideas. So I've just given sort of a list. So if you want to take a photo of it, something, I love that you said about fresh flowers. I think it's about the 5th one down, bouquet of fresh flowers. That's something I started to do as well, Becky. I do it when I get groceries.
Yep.
Is there anything else that you do for yourself, or anything on here that kind of stands out to you?
I've started lately where I buy the little waxy, smelly little items, and then you put them on there, the melts, I guess they're called. I've started treating myself to 2 of those. Every couple weeks, I make a point to do that. I have been purchasing more books again and reading, and I find that I go for a time where I'm really great at reading, but when I start to get on my down slope, my mind can't read. But when I'm in this moving forward, positive, a book is great. So I know I'm doing well right now because I just finished a book last night and I fired up a new one today on my lunch.
Good for you. Good for you.
And, I love the books or the magazines, and I love to sew. I haven't done that, but my machines are out. My material is closed. That's one of my next close steps is doing that. And I have been taking naps. I've never been a person to take a nap till now. And it's like, you know what? I'm tired, and that's okay. Have a nap. Actually, there's a lot of things on here, Deb, that I am doing that I haven't done in a long time.
I'm happy for you. That's awesome. Yeah, and taking a nap, and the other piece of it is not to feel guilty about that, but to recognize that I'm doing this to celebrate myself, or that like my body needs this.
Yes.
Sleep is such a underrated superpower.
Yes.
So getting our, you know, our uninterrupted sleep at night, but then yeah, just I'll do it too if I have a later night workshop, just have a power, like a half an hour, 20-minute power nap. I feel totally rejuvenated again. And I love having a cozy blanket, a nice soft blanket. So I treat myself to a nice blanket. It's just about those little touches. And for me, one of the things I love most are like thick notebooks with like the coils.
Like those two. Yeah.
And just from the dollar store, but I love, like I could never have enough notebooks, and yeah, so
And
awesome.
something that you mentioned a few minutes ago was what just comes naturally to you. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know, but it just hit me. I'm a great person for making lists. Like we'll be talking about something, I'll be going, okay, so we're going to do that. So then we need this, we need this, we need flyer, and I have the list for that event. You know what I'm saying? It's on a sticky note, it's in a coil book. Then I type it all out on the computer. But I am, once the idea has been put out there, it's how my brain goes into organization and step by step what we need. And that just happens, like you say. There's no thought to it. That's just what I do.
And that's unique. You know, there's not everyone has that capability of their brain working in that way. And I know there's many people that are, you know, looking for someone that can do that, whether it be an event planner or whether it be a virtual assistant, someone to keep them organized, someone to keep them on track. Yeah.
And I've been thinking that lately. Just being in the same office with a coworker, and she'll kind of like look at me and I'll be like, well, no, let's go, write it all down right now. So because you have that thought, you have to put it out there or it could be gone.
Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. So yeah, recognizing that that is a specialty, that's something unique to you, comes easy to you, but it's something that not everyone possesses. And you know, if that's something that, again, the world needs, you can make money at. So putting all those other, you know, crosses into it, and where does it intersect? And is that something that you can create for yourself? Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, how are you going to celebrate that? So write it down on, so thinking back, did I stay on here? Oh. What's something that you've accomplished recently? And I'll have you keep this private, Becky.
Yeah.
So what's something that you've accomplished recently, and how are you going to celebrate that? So write it down on a self-care permission slip with a date no longer than 1 week. Okay?
Okay.
So are you doing it right now, or are you going to do this after?
Yeah, but I have to be honest, it's very hard to celebrate something. I'm not used to that.
I know. You know, I get it. It's a challenge that this has actually been prompted from my coaching. And that's why I think coaches need coaches, you know, because I feel the pain, because I have the same thing. They're like, I'm like saying, you know, oh, I got this happened. They're like, and how are you going to celebrate that? I'm like, moving on to the next task? No. So, yeah. So make a commitment to yourself. What are you going to do? Is it going to be, you know, a walk by yourself? Is it going to be you know, buying a new candle, a new scented candle? Is it going to be, you know, purchasing a specialty coffee? Is it going to be coffee out with a girlfriend? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but it's something that you're making a commitment to yourself. So if you had to get a gift for someone else, so you heard about this accomplishment that someone else did, and you had to buy them a gift to say, way to go, or you had to do something for them, what would it be? Do it for yourself. Do that for yourself.
Yes, that helped.
Okay.
By making it a gift for someone else, turning that around. It clicked, I know.
Okay. So I'm connected with you, so I'm going to keep you accountable on that.
Yes. It's actually something very simple.
Okay.
It's a new coffee mug.
Awesome. I love coffee mugs. Don't you love coffee mugs? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, that's great. So yeah, please, if you want to share it with me, that would be fabulous. So depression is focusing on the past. Anxiety is focusing on the unknown future. So stop apologizing for past, for anxiety, and knowing that life is full of high dive moments. Did you ever have that as a kid, that you went to the high dive?
Yeah, too chicken.
And you know, it's one of the, it's just sits in your stomach and you like, whoop, right? And it's, you know, but life is full of those kinds of high dive moments. Even they were as a kid, but they are as adults. And many of the high dive situations are things that we've created in our own mind that aren't actually real. The board isn't that high. And we know how to dive. So looking at each of those one door at a time, that you don't, you know, you have your big vision, but that you're needing to only focus on the goal that's in front of you and creating that daily habit of action.
Right.
So that is it. If you want to join me for a vision board workshop, I am doing one. This I was supposed to be in England. I'm very sad. So there's the website down below. It's www.selfcareandwellnessexpo.co.uk. And if you go on that website, you'll see there's a link there to the vision board workshop. So, but what's really cool is that I'm going to be doing it streaming live like this with Amy. She's a yoga instructor in Taunton, near Taunton, UK. And she's got a small group of people that are going to be doing it live there, and then I'm going to do it live online. So we're going to connect Canada and UK and do it together. So it'll be a bit early in the morning for us. It'll be like 6 a.m. But I'm excited. I'm excited about that. So want to do that. And then, ta-da, a retreat. I'm so excited about this retreat. I can't even hide my excitement. It's going to be so amazing. Becky, I would love for you to come, but I just want to also say for anybody else that's watching live online or anybody that catches the replay, it's going to be at the Ben Miller Inn, November 13th to 14th. It's a Friday afternoon till Saturday evening. The Ben Miller Inn, I was speaking to somebody from the UK and I was telling them about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, you have stone buildings everywhere and castles. Like, but for us, this is really unique in Canada where we have this old stone building. You know, it used to be a wool mill and it's been converted into a boutique hotel. The meals, we just got the menu from the chef last week. Darlene is taking care of that, my assistant, and it looks amazing. The lunch and the supper will all be phenomenal. We'll have vegetarian options. And then it's going to be a full vision board workshop Friday right till Saturday evening, a wine and cheese reception at the end. And then also I'm super pumped. I hired a girl band. So they're called The Pairs. You want to check them out on YouTube, like a pair of socks. And they play like folk music, and they're going to be playing on the Friday night in the bar area. So there are 8 women that have registered, and so I can have 15. Again, we'll see with COVID, but we have our own house. So I can do the social distancing, no problem, and keep everybody safe that way. And because it is a staffed establishment, it doesn't fall under the social distancing like the other laws with like a house party, because it is, you know, a sanctioned workshop and retreat. So yeah, so there's that. If you go to my website, you can see it there, daretodeclare.com. You can register, or if you want more information, just ask me. I would be excited to talk to you about it. And I also would be excited to talk to you further. So like Becky and I have been talking, we've been, you know, we've had some coaching back and forth, and I'd be happy if you're wanting to do any coaching with me. that you check out my link there on Candly, and we can book a time to chat or just use my email to connect with me. So, and I'll finish off with Oprah. She said, you can have it all. She said, you just can't have it all at once. So that is it. I'm going to go on Facebook and sign off for now on our live here. See if I can do that. I don't know how to turn it off anymore. That might be a bit. Yeah, I don't see how to turn it off. All right, well, I might just have to disconnect from here, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, thanks so much for joining me, Becky, and being the star.
Yeah, sometimes things are just meant to be.
For sure, absolutely. They were so meant to be, and this was supposed to be as it was. And I just loved having your feedback. Is there anything that, any questions you have before we leave?
No, I think I'm good. I'm very happy that that I got to get on tonight, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.